Okay, so I want to remind everybody of the staff core values is a strong work ethic, problem solving, community oriented, shows professionalism and integrity, is a team player, is accountable, and is a good steward. So could we have roll call, please?
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler, Walling,
Here.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, then you should have all received the agenda, and could I have a motion to approve that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Shelley,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Okay, and so on the consent agenda this time, we have the minutes of the June 17th regular council meeting. Oops. I do there. Okay. Technical difficulties. Okay. There is no contract payments, so financials claims register of $1,388,401.62 and 2 applications for retail cigarette licenses from JMC Supermarket and El Rey Market. So could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, we will push the city administrator report off until he shows up in a little bit here. Mayor, council comments. I just want to say thanks to Chuck for sitting and filling in for me over the last meeting and the last few weeks. So had a good time while I was gone, but glad to be back. So anything from the council?
Just on the cusp of 4th of July celebrations.
Still trying to figure out what my entry into the parade is going to look like. So any ideas? Grandkids are torn between riding on the float or sitting and getting candy. And it's like, they're right at the age that I think candy is going to win. So. Okay. Are there any open forum requests? Just a reminder, you need to step to the microphone, state your name and address, and you're allowed 3 minutes to speak. Okay, being none, we have a public hearing today. So it's an amendment to the City of Perry zoning ordinances, and there's 4 properties involved. The zoning change is going to allow them to be a residential duplex. So I will open that public hearing at 9:07. Again, Sven would normally explain a little more detail what this is about, but I think everybody knows it's just we approved some changes to the zoning laws, and then now these properties are asking for that zoning change.
Yep. The duplex is on Otley.
Yep, duplex is on Otley, that, I think it was the Palmer?
I don't know.
I can't remember the company, but yes.
So it's going from residential to duplex.
Yeah, residential multi-district to residential duplex district, which is the new district that just was approved.
Right. Pretty straightforward.
Okay, any other discussion, comments, anything from the public? Okay, we'll close the public hearing at 9:08. Okay, then we'll go to old business. Item A is a resolution awarding general obligation corporate purpose bonds for the street repairs and improvements that we have seen going on around town. So this is payable over the next 5 years and will be paid out of road use tax and general purpose taxes, as we always do with that money. So they have a motion, please.
I make a motion, we pass a resolution awarding the general obligation corporate purpose bond series 2024. And
And I'll second that.
Okay,
Discussion.
hi, I'm Jen Smith with PFM. And as you know, yesterday we did take the bids on the $1,450,000 general obligation corporate purpose bonds. The results yesterday were amazing, amazing. Actually, there was a brand new bidder. I was telling Susie, I've been in the business for 11 years now doing this, never seen them. If you look at your bid form on the back, it's a second to last bidder. It's SenCap. I have never seen them bid in Iowa, so Perry actually bought a brand new underwriter. So it's phenomenal, phenomenal, good stuff.
good stuff.
So, looking at the bid tab, we received 5 different bids from 29 banks. Robert W. Baird usually bids with a syndicate, meaning they have multiple banks that bid with them. So 29 different banks, 18 different states that were all looking at Perry yesterday. So good news. But the winning bid was received from Bernardi Securities, and they are out of Northland, Illinois. The TIC, or the interest rate, true interest cost, was 4.9109. The cover bid was the Robert W. Baird bid, and they were at a 4.3081. So just 11 basis points difference. If you're looking at the top bid, the Bernardi Securities bid, and then the final bid, the UMB Bank bid, you can see that the spread is a little bit larger. And I think that that really shows that we made the right decision with a competitive sale and going that route versus the bank route, just because you don't have to take one interest rate. You got the very best interest rate at a 4.19. So, these were bank qualified bonds. They're maturing over 5 years. And looking at the BVAL AAA scale yesterday, Perry was about 85 basis points over that, which we expected, because what we're seeing in the market right now is that the spread's really widening for the non-rated bank issues. So we fully expected that. Nothing to be, alarmed about at all. Overall, we thought that what happened yesterday was, it exceeded our expectations, really. So we're so proud to have 5 bidders. So at this time, if you guys have any other questions on the bonds, I'd be glad to take them, or the process, or anything like that. Okay.
Looks like you got a good.
Very
bunch of
good.
Bidders.
Yes, we did. So PFM does recommend that the city award the series 24 bonds to Bernardi Securities Incorporated from Northfield, Illinois at a true interest cost of 4.1901. Okay,
Thank you.
Very competitive.
thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay. So do we need a motion to include Bernardi in that, or is the motion on the table good enough?
Yep, no, the motion
resolution.
table is good enough.
Okay.
I sent out the updated summary with all of the information in it, last night around 5:15-ish. So,
Yeah.
yes, no, motion to approve is good.
Okay. So roll call?
Walling,
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Schott,
Yeah.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay. Item B, well, why don't we slip back over and we'll let Sven do his.
And this my city administrator.
Yes, you did.
So, but we'll skip over to it now. So,
Thank you for checking.
All right. Sorry. I had to, with the holiday next week, I had to rush to get a public hearing notice to the paper. Hopefully it's right. On that note, obviously today is the final day for Tyson's operations at the plant. probably get a little bit more into that down at the section regarding some strategic planning efforts that we're looking at doing as the Perry Next group. But do just want to really thank all of the team members and the staff out at the plant for their years of service and contributions to the community. Want to make sure that they all know that there's a whole team working on not only helping bring a company back into that plant, but also attracting new businesses to the community to help them be able to stay in Perry with a good job, to be able to support their family and remain a part of the Perry community. So just know that there's a lot of people doing a lot of work to make sure that we can do everything we can to support those folks in this transition. So it's kind of been a roller coaster for all of us, and I'm sure even more for those that are losing their jobs in all sorts of different ways and different paths of life. So just know that we're thinking about all of them and are doing what we can to support them from the city and the community as a whole, and all of the partners of Perry Next. So something that I'm very excited to announce is that we have been able to hire a housing and development manager who will be able to send legal notices for Board of Adjustment hearings in a much more timely manner than what I just did. So her name is Molly Mantle. She is coming to us from the city of Grimes, where she has been a planner there. Previous to that, she was at Region 12 Council of Governments, and actually was the grant administrator from Region 12 on our wastewater treatment plant CDBG grant. So she's familiar with the community. She's originally from Jefferson and went to Iowa State for community and regional planning. So we know she has to be great because that's what I did. And her and her fiance live in Woodward now. So her fiance is going to be a teacher at Woodward this next school year. So definitely a great opportunity for us. And I think hopefully a great opportunity for her in the next step in her career. So she's going to be starting with us starting on July 16th. And it can't happen a day too soon because I am very ready. She was just up at City Hall this morning, handing off some final paperwork to Susie. And I told her I'm already starting piles for her for stuff that I get to get off of my desk. So I'm sure Susie and Liz are also excited for me to have that off my brain as well. So, yeah, other than that, there's been quite a bit of media interest around town. So we've been doing some interviews today from 10 to about 11:30. There's some set time for media to come and kind of do a round robin with about half dozen folks throughout downtown, just to kind of help coordinate those efforts. Wickstead that we brought on and will be voting on again here on this agenda has been awesome to work with in managing all of that media input and requests, and provided some media relations training for those that are going to be interviewed as well. So I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I want to say they're able to track the number of stories just on Tyson so far, and kind of the impact and impressions and dollar value. So I think there was about 1,000, just shy of 1,080 stories on the Tyson closure, which had, I want to say it was I'm going to stare at Chris. Was it 7 billion impressions or views? Yep. And then I think it was about learning all sorts of new acronyms throughout this process, but they can sort of monetize that exposure to a ad equivalency value.
comparison that Wickstead used was cost per 30-second ad. This is what the equivalency
Yep.
of impressions that are given on all those articles, all those news stories, all those seconds that are done on the television, and including it to a dollar amount.
And it-
50%.
I think it was around 68, just over $68 million of equivalency and ad spending. So definitely, a great investment on our part to bring on Wickstead to really help us, be able to tell Perry's story and, be able to effectively, show that positive side of the community and what's going on and the positive things that are happening in the community. So those are some of my thoughts, but does anybody have any questions?
Yeah. I'd like to thank the small contractors here in Perry that have absorbed a lot of those people from Tyson, specifically McKee and AccuJet. They absorbed some of those people.
Yep.
That's going to help retain us. And I really appreciate the fact that they have, taken advantage of this downfall to help their businesses grow.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yep, and that's really been kind of going back, the strategy that we took with those job fairs. With that first job fair is very locally focused, and then kind of moving that circle out for that next job fair for a little bit more regional approach. So there's no other questions. I'll yield my time because I can tell that Susie is hot.
Okay, thank you, Sven. Okay, back to the old business. Item B is a resolution accepting the grant agreement for the FAA for the fiscal year 2024 airport infrastructure grant. This is to finalize the purchase of the snow removal equipment that we approved a little while ago, but they finally approved our application, so we need to act on this again. Can I have a motion, please?
I make a motion that we approve resolution accepting grant agreement from the FAA for the fiscal year 2024 airport infrastructure grant.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
This is
We've been
Gary.
through pretty much all of this already, but this is for a new tractor and snow blower for the airport as part of our regular kind of funding plan goes.
And the FAA picks up 90% of the cost.
Yep.
Gotta love it.
Which matched the grant applications.
Yep.
No more rule. Has that equipment been purchased already?
I don't.
Garrett, has that been ordered?
Oh, Garrett's here.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
No, you're gonna have to yell.
All right, is that any better? Ah, crap.
You know?
Is there an output volume?
Is that helping at all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay. Yeah, so pending Sven and the city attorney signing the grant agreement, which has already been signed by FAA. We will get contracts ready to go with Van Wall. And at that point, they'll sign, they'll come to council. And we'll have another item for approval of the contract. The city will sign and then be, ready to order equipment. In talking with Van Wall, it sounds like that, both the blower, which comes from a different manufacturer than Deere, and the tractor itself should be in their hands sometime around either October or November, which would be, super ideal, and hopefully we don't get any snow before then. But yeah, it's all pretty much ready to go.
Thank you, Garrett.
Okay, roll call, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Waller,
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Shot.
Yes.
Okay, next one is another item that we've talked about before. So it's a resolution approving the project sponsor agreement for AmeriCorps and a short-term lease, housing lease agreement for such members. We have to put them up for the housing and pay them a little stipend while they're here. So could I have a motion on this, please?
I have moved to item C. Resolution approving the project sponsor agreement, therefore.
I'll second that.
Okay,
I have questions.
discussion?
Questions?
Yeah, we talked about AmeriCorps coming and the Parks and Recreation was gonna get with the little leaguers and see what they might need that AmeriCorps may be able to help them with. Did we get something on that?
I think we included ball fields as part of the scope of work, because we have to provide kind of all of the things that those members might be working on. But then we're working on getting some things together to be able to have kind of a more in-depth conversation with Little League of exactly what they're looking at wanting and what fits with our budgeting processes and things like that, so that we can, first of all, create that shared vision of what everybody is wanting that area to be in the future, and then kind of that strategy of who's going to do what and how we can work together closely to accomplish that shared vision.
Excellent.
Yep.
And they're here in July, correct?
July 12th through September 6th, I think,
8th or 9th.
something like that.
I have to
Through
work around.
the Friday before the Cyclone game.
September.
Excellent.
So they're here. Their last day of service is September 5th, and then they're leaving September 6th. So I am also working with the hotel for those last 2 nights to put them up at the hotel, because the house that's listed on Airbnb is rented those last 2 nights. So, but when we went on the tour with the AmeriCorps manager, she was absolutely blown away and said, this is the nicest accommodations that we have ever seen for AmeriCorps volunteers. So usually they're on cots in a church basement or somewhere like that. So we thought this would be a great opportunity. And Mr. Dang built the house. He lives right across the street, so he'll be able to keep an eye on him. But he was very gracious in working with us on cost and saving a significant amount of money doing it off Airbnb just directly, rather than all of the fees and things that Airbnb has. So I think it was going to be over $20,000 to go through Airbnb. So we're able to negotiate a nightly, daily rate, just based on him knowing it's going to be rented for about 2.5 months. He was excited about. So he's been awesome to work with and is excited. So great.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Joe, I just want to make sure that your motion included these, right?
Yes.
Okay. Shelley,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay. Item D is a resolution approving Amendment 2 to the Downtown Housing Grant Agreement. This is again for the Tin Pig and the Sheffers. We have to get the agreements modified a little bit to come up with the new contractual language that they want in the contracts now. So could I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we pass a resolution approving Amendment 2 to the Downtown Housing Grant Agreement.
I'll second that.
No.
Whoever. Discussion?
As the mayor stated, this, we asked for the extension request. You guys approved that request, and this is just them actually accepting it and amending it.
Roll call, please.
Wally,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, item E, resolution approving covenant document and conflict of interest for the Downtown Housing Grant Agreement number 22 ARPDH 046 with IEDA. And again, this is for Sheffers and again, just part of that agreement to get those upper story apartments finished up, which I saw the shower surrounds going in the other day. So could I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we pass a resolution approving the covenant document and conflict of interest for the downtown housing grant agreement number 22-ARPDH-046.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Scott.
Yeah.
Klein,
Yes.
Okay, item F, approval of pay application number 4 for Frog Creek Restoration, amount of $14,307. Puts us at 25.9%, and the engineers have recommended approval. So could I have motion, please?
Motion to approve item F. Approval of pay application number 4 for Frog Creek Restoration.
I'll second that.
Discussion?
I have a question. I've had a lot of people ask me about the overall project, and I understand from the meetings that there's gonna be a pond out east where they're digging at right now by the Hotel 8. And that all connects to down Iowa Street to the pond and over to the treatment. Is that? about right?
So two separate projects.
Okay.
But both stormwater related.
Yes.
So, Frog Creek, really is kind of the watershed for most of the west half of Perry. So that is what goes down by the wastewater treatment plant. Iowa Street project actually goes north behind Stokely Lumber and then basically straight north to Beaver Creek. So that's the watershed for that side.
Okay.
Yep.
Understand.
So,
Thank you.
yep.
I was just gonna add, Frog Creek's moving along nicely. You are gonna see a slowdown in work, so I wanna make sure everyone was aware of that. With water levels coming up and down, everything being saturated. I actually have a meeting with them at 10 o'clock this morning. We're gonna talk about seeding things this morning. And then maybe pumping the brakes a little bit until Mother Nature settles down, so we can get back on the creek and do the next phases. So.
Pretty wet.
Thank you.
Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Walling,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Okay, item G, approval of pay application number 3 for the Iowa Street Stormwater Wetland. It's for the amount of $446,381.94 to Sandstone Management, puts them at 32.2% complete, and the engineer recommends approval. So could I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we pass approval of pay application number 3 for the Iowa Street Stormwater Wetland.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Once we address the groundwater issues, I think you guys probably saw some of that slow start on that one. They have really put it in high gear. They've done a good job on the south side, getting started over there and addressing the water issues on that side from the lessons we learned on the other side of the road. Most of the major grading work is done now on the north side. The leaf sewer end now as it comes down to Willis. So we found a couple sewers we didn't know existed, so hopefully that helps some of the wet areas out there as well. But that's moving along nicely as well. So they've got about another month's worth of grading work before they'll be finished there.
Okay. Great. Just be glad we're not at the side.
Roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Okay, item H, approval of pay application number 15 for the runway 1432 relocation phase 2. The amount of $67,426.34 to Manats Inc. And it's been recommended for approval by the engineers. So motion, please.
I make a motion, we approve pay application number 15 for runway 1432nd relocation phase 2.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on that?
I just spoke with Jack this morning and it sounds like they're rocking and rolling out there. I think they're moving the concrete plant back in and did they just do the final subgrade prep or they're getting ready to? So hopefully in July, they're going to be rocking and rolling on paving.
Yeah, they're getting ready to mobilize back into the site here. The rock has been trimmed out, ready to go. We'll see the concrete plant pop up here pretty soon. Hopefully we keep our fingers crossed when the nature plays nice. By the end of July, we'll have a lot of pavement down out there. I do know the airport will be shut down for roughly about 4 to 5 days while they make connections from the new runway to the old. Just a reminder that the old runway becomes a new taxiway.
Yeah.
And so while we make those connections, we have to keep the airport safe.
And we just sent that notice out for the week of July 8th. But it will hopefully be a faster turnaround than that. Hopefully.
Did I miss anything, Garrett?
No,
Oh,
that-
I keep forgetting that Garrett's here.
yeah, no, that generally covers it. For this pay application, it was just a lot of electrical and then some sub-drain improvements and then just a comment on item I, item I. That was for earthwork that's continuing on phase 3, the 1,500-foot extension. When told is continuing to move forward with that, so then they won't affect anybody else working out there. They've done all their stuff to get everybody else set up and ready to go when it's their turn. So things are moving along nicely.
And then I will add that a week or two ago, they did have the pre-construction meeting for the AWAS, which is the weather station relocation. And that contractor, who is the same contractor doing all of the electrical work, will be getting started on that. Hopefully kind of wrapped up with that in that August, early September timeframe.
Great.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Waller.
Yes.
Walling.
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and then when we get this one wrapped up, the next time we have a project out there, we're gonna have shorter names for all the projects.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, approval of pay application number 11 for the runway 1432 relocation phase 3, amount of $31,825 to Manats Inc. And it's been recommended for approval, and Garrett just gave us a little update on that one also. So can I have a
Make a
motion,
motion.
please?
Approve pay application number 11 for runway 1432 relocation phase 3.
I'll second.
Okay. Need anything further discussed on that one? Okay, we'll do roll call.
Walling.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes.
Waller.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Okay, new business. First three are kind of why we have the meeting today, to close out the year end. So first one's resolution authorizing fiscal year 2024 operational transfer of funds. And so I'd take a motion and then we'll get an explanation of what's going on with that one. So
I make a motion to pass the resolution authorized fiscal year 2024 operational transfer of funds.
I'll second that.
okay,
Okay, this is
Sue?
the first of several transfer resolutions for operating purposes only. We have TIF to the general fund for economic development, $100,000. We've got local option sales tax to several different funds, and this is not to exceed $1,378,814. $635,000 up to that for the local option maintenance fund. $112,398. The HMA resurfacing fund, that's the annual transfer. Now the following are transfers to different building funds for annual maintenance and upkeep. The local option sales tax pays for $22,273.79 to the Carnegie Library Fund, and $17,755.32 for Towncraft Building. And all those costs, this is like the net cost after all donations or rents or anything like that. $171,715.48 for the Hotel Pat Fund. That's for operating and maintenance costs for the hotel that we've accrued this past year, and $11,011.82 for the Post, and then $11,761.49 for the American Legion Building. We have a couple other transfers, $50,000 to the general fund for community and economic development, and $40,000 to the general fund for marketing. And we're gonna close out the FEMA fire grant we're gonna transfer $241,348 for the city's portion of that Pierce Saber pumper that they're planning on getting. We're gonna close out the childcare grant project, 5,000 for that, and then the soccer complex, $61,068. And then we're going to road use, $130,000 to the HMA fund, that's annual. And then local option maintenance is transferring 10,000 to the general fund for assistance with Parks and Rec director salary. Sewer fund is transferring 60,000 to general fund for admin fees, and then the general fund is transferring 160,000 to the tree removal fund. So that is all of the operating transfers. Do you have any questions?
I don't know how you keep that all straight. but I'm glad you did.
Yeah, glad I'm not
A
having to
lot
do
of
it.
spreadsheets and things like that.
I have yet to figure it out.
I know. I read through that. I was like, "Ooh, okay,
Good job, Susie.
good job."
Okay, roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Scott.
Yeah.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, item B is a resolution authorizing fiscal year 2024 transfers of funds for debt payments. So can I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we approve resolution authorizing fiscal year 2024 transfer of funds for debt payments.
I'll second.
We have two different bonds that are paid by debt service, and that's the 2016 bond, which is about done with that, and the 2013 A bond. So those are the only two that are paid by debt service, the tax levy. The rest are paid by either local option of sales tax, TIF, sewer fund, things like that. So we have several different bond funds we need to make transfers for. I will just read the totals. From the TIF fund to debt service fund, $143,500. From sewer operations fund to the debt service fund, that's for like a sewer collections project, not a sewer plant project. $161,775 from a local option sales tax, debt service for various bonds like the 2019 airport project, things like that, portions of the 28th Street project, McCurry Building, HMA. From the HMA project fund to the debt service fund, $249,700. And then from sewer operations to the sinking fund, that's where they pay the sewer bond payment. This is a bond payment for the plant. $1,038,689.33. So just to remind everyone, we have to make these transfers because any debt payment besides a revenue bond, all the GO bonds have to be paid through the debt service fund. So that's why we have to transfer everything into that to pay out of that.
Got it.
Okay, roll call, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Walling.
Yes.
Okay, item C, a resolution authorizing fiscal year 2024 emergency levy transfer. Can I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we pass a resolution authorizing the fiscal year 2024 emergency levy transfer.
I'll second that.
This is the last year we will do this transfer because starting in fiscal year 25, with the combined general fund levy, the 27-cent emergency fund levy is included in a general fund levy. So we won't have to do a transfer anymore. It was a 27-cent levy rate for every $1,000 of taxable valuation if a city was at the 810 limit. So we can use these funds for any like overages or unexpected expenses or items over budget in the general fund only. So basically it'll be used for any insurance related damage replacements, some startup costs for newly hired police officers, and then some vehicle maintenance and utility costs that were over budget.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Walling,
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, Sven asked if we could move item G up on the agenda, so we'll skip to that one real quick since he might have to skip out a little early and thought he'd want to discuss this one. So this is a resolution approving a professional services agreement with Bolton and Mank for the strategic plan Phase 2 project. So
I'd like a motion on G, move. Resolution approving a professional service agreement and Bolton, with Bolton and Mink for the strategic plan Phase 2 project.
I'll second.
discussion.
Okay, so, I asked the mayor if he could move this up because we have scheduled kind of a round robin media tour in different spaces from 10 to 11:30. So I wanted to make sure I'd be here to discuss this. And then Matt also has to run to that progress meeting. So we've kind of taken the approach of looking at this response to Tyson in a few phases. So phase 1 was our initial response, which has kind of been that last 3 months. Phase 2 is really focused on kind of that recovery phase of really defining a strategy. And then phase 3 will kind of be the revitalization from really taking a little bit longer term approach to some of the objectives and things that come out of that phase 2 plan. So the plan was included in the packet, but the big pieces of the strategic plan will be economic growth. So both supporting our existing businesses and creating a little bit more strategy around new business attraction, and then identifying sites for expansion, whether that's the industrial park or other sites around the community. Also, parks and recreation and kind of that placemaking and quality of life aspect. Housing and neighborhoods, of course, business attraction and retention, and then education and schools. So really taking a holistic approach at really diving into the closures effects on all of these different pieces and how we can create a strategy for all of the partners of Perry Next to come together and work together on this recovery and then future revitalization process. So one of the things, it's about a $96,000 planning effort. And I think ultimately we're approaching this as we really just need to get this approved so that we can start moving forward. But I've already started putting out some asks to some of those partners of Perry Next, and we'll continue to do that. I'm hoping to be, for the city's part of this, to be significantly less than $96,000. So that's going to kind of be a work in progress, but I think being able to just kind of take the lead, get the scope of services approved so that we can really get to work and get our feet under us to be able to really have a strategy moving forward. And I'd really haven't quite talked through schedule yet, but it's my hope that we can kind of get through most of this so that we can really start focusing on implementation around January 1st, and then be able to work on aligning our city budget and our partners' budgets to assist with that implementation where budget items are needed. So again, just a very holistic approach involving all of our partners, Perry Economic Development, the Greater Dallas County Development Alliance, Greater Des Moines Partnership, the state, but then also our utilities, hopefully the school district, DMAC, really just bringing all of those partners to the table to get on the same page and have a shared vision and a shared strategy of how we move forward.
Sounds good.
Matt's texting me things. Oh, yeah. Thank you. So Bolton and Mink's part of this is going to be really focused on some of those planning type things and analysis and that kind of work, identifying some of those issues. And then, am I getting too long-winded for your?
Not at all. Not at all.
There's a. Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
I just don't wanna- I just
sorry.
don't wanna lose the council.
We'll
So
leave at 10.
we have the Ingenuity Company as a partner with Bolton and Mink. And Joe Benish with Ingenuity Company, he did the strategic plan for the Alliance. So he's really his focus is gonna be on that implementation plan and then ongoing, we call it maintenance of kind of holding our hand through that and keeping us on track. And then we also have Drake University as a partner, focusing on kind of some of that community input, and they're going to be leading some focus groups for us as part of that public input process.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Shelley,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Mahler,
Yes.
Wally,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
Okay, back up to item D.
And then also just for, sorry, Liz, for the ordinance reading, it's just changing the zoning as was discussed in the public hearing for those 4 lots. I would respectfully, put a bug in your ear to possibly do all 3 readings this council meeting. At the planning and zoning meeting, we only had 1 property owner show up. And there was more general questions about zoning. And then some issues in their front yard from the utility hookups. So really not concerns with this specific zoning. So if council feels up to it, I would appreciate all 3 readings so we can move that forward. But ultimately up to you.
If it happens before 10.
No pressure.
I got Joe.
Item number D, approval of Perry Public Library Board of Trustee appointments and reappointments. So Ms. Heather Corollas submitted a request to be reappointed, and Ms. Alyssa Whitmore is asked to be appointed to the board, and each would serve 4-year term.
I make a motion, we approve Perry Public Library Board of Trustee appointments and reappointments.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on that? Okay, roll call.
Wally,
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Item E is a resolution approving tax abatement applications for residential construction completed on or before or to be completed in 2024 in Perry, Iowa. So there's some properties in that want to apply for the abatement, and we need to approve those. So can I have a
Motion to approve item E. Resolution approving tax abatement of applications for residential construction completed or to be completed in 2024 in Perry, Iowa.
I'll second.
any discussion on that one? Okay,
these are not done yet, but they are to be done by the end of 2024. So we're putting them through to meet the deadline before July 1st with the law changes.
And we know they will be completed by the permitting department, or how did we?
Yes.
Sparky and Sven reviewed that and felt confident, and the ones that had applied that they would be done. The new home that's going up is, I think, Destiny Homes, and they're known to have homes up in 3 months.
Okay.
Their sales point is you're moving in 90 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
So very confident in that. And they've done one before and it was 90 days and they were moved in. So,
Excellent, excellent. Thank you.
And the other
and-
ones are pretty almost, I'd say, within a few months.
Yeah, and kind of the push to get these on is because the 2023 legislative session changed tax abatement. And it's kind of a little vague on how exactly it's going to be implemented, but how it reads is that any applications approved think it was on or before July 1st of 2024 would receive the full tax abatement with all levies for applications after that time frame. school levies will not be included in that tax abatement, total levies. So the school levies will be pulled out of that, tax abatement opportunity.
Excellent. Thank you for the explanation.
Roll call.
Shelley.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Smaller.
Yes.
Walling.
Abstain?
Schott.
Yes.
Okay, you're supposed to ask, if you abstain, you're supposed to state a reason why you are
I'm building a
abstaining.
garage that's on the tax abatement.
Conflict of interest. Good.
And it'll be done next month.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, item F is a resolution authorizing the permanent transfer of monies to close the Recreation Equipment Fund. And so I take a motion and then we'll discuss this one.
Make a motion to pass a resolution authorizing the permanent transfer of monies to close the recreation equipment fund.
And I'll second.
And I want an explanation.
Back before, we had local option sales tax, there was not a lot to go around for capitals. So one of the things that, the rec center, had a capital equipment fund. And that's back when, if you remember, they used to have like a separate, you have to pay your membership fee and then there's a separate, personal fitness room fee. So that money went into the rec equipment fund and they used to buy rec equipment out of that. Well, since we have local option sales tax, we buy rec equipment with local option sales tax, with grants, with, other donations. So this fund is really kind of obsolete. We don't use it anymore. The balance, we have like a negative $221.09 balance. So I've talked to the rec center and talked to John, and we're gonna close this fund because it has really no use anymore.
Understandable. Thank you.
Roll call.
Walling.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes.
Smaller.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, two more items to go. So hopefully we'll get through this quick. Item H is resolution approving a media relations services agreement with Wixted and Company for communications and media relations needed for the Tyson plant closure. Could I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we approve a media relations service agreement with the Wixed Company for communications and media relations needs for the Tyson plant closure.
I'll second that.
So this had a phone poll on it. We received 4 votes back and all of them are A's. So that did give the authorization for Sven to sign it to enter into the contract, just formally approving it. So it's part of the minutes.
And they've been awesome to work with and are here today helping out and did media training. So very well worth it.
Good. Okay. Roll call, please.
Waller.
Yes.
Walling.
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, the last item is an ordinance, amending the code of ordinance, chapter 165 for the 4 lots on Otley, as we discussed in the public hearing earlier on. Could I have a motion,
I
please?
make a motion, we pass an ordinance amending the code of ordinances, chapter 165 zoning regulations.
I'll second that.
We need any more discussion? Okay, roll call.
So this is for the first reading. Walling.
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
I would honor a motion to waive the rules and have second and third reading on this today. If
I make a motion.
Is it waive the rules and have the third and final reading?
I have it down as, we're suspending the rules and holding the second and final reading.
I make a motion, we suspend the rules.
Just,
Third.
okay, go straight to the third and final.
Make a motion, we suspend the rules and have the third and final reading.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor? Roll call, please.
Walling.
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
make a motion, we pass an ordinance amending the code of ordinances, chapter 165 zoning regulations, third reading.
I'll second that.
okay. Any discussion? Roll call.
Walling.
Yes.
Mahler.
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Okay, so that will adjourn at 9:58. Thank you.
Just under the wire. No, I gotta get.